Welcome to English via AI. Imagine a quiet schoolboy sitting before a large computer. At that time, very few students had touched one. The machine fills an entire room and has limited power. Yet, the boy sees a future hidden inside it. He believes computers will one day enter ordinary homes. He wants to place useful software inside every machine. Years later, his company will transform work, learning, and communication. His success will also bring criticism, lawsuits, and difficult questions. Then he will leave daily business leadership behind. He will use much of his wealth to address global problems. This is the story of Bill Gates. William Henry Gates III was born on October 28, 1955. He was born in Seattle, Washington, in the United States. His father, William Gates Sr., was a successful lawyer. His mother, Mary Maxwell Gates, served in business and community organizations. The Gates family valued education, discipline, and public service. Bill grew up with two sisters in a comfortable home. As a child, Bill was quiet but highly competitive. He enjoyed puzzles, strategy games, and difficult questions. He read encyclopedias and many other books for hours. His parents soon noticed his powerful memory and curiosity. Bill sometimes became deeply lost in his thoughts. His mother would ask what he was doing. He reportedly answered that he was simply thinking. That habit remained important throughout his later life. Bill also enjoyed testing himself against other people. He wanted to understand rules and find better solutions. These early qualities shaped his future path. Curiosity, focus, and competition became central parts of his character. Bill's parents worried that he needed a greater challenge. They sent him to Lakeside School in Seattle. Lakeside was a private school with strong academic programs. It gave Bill access to an unusual opportunity. In 1968, the school obtained time on a computer terminal. Computers were extremely expensive and uncommon during that period. The terminal did not look like a modern laptop. It connected students to a larger computer located elsewhere. Bill became fascinated as soon as he used it. He wanted to understand every command and every result. Computer time cost money and was carefully limited. Bill and several friends quickly used their available time. Among those friends was an older student named Paul Allen. He shared Bill's deep interest in computer programming. The boys studied manuals and practiced whenever possible. They often stayed near the terminal for long periods. For Bill, the computer was more than a machine. It was a world where logic could create almost anything. Bill and his friends wanted more computer access. Their curiosity sometimes pushed them beyond the rules. They discovered weaknesses in a computer company's system. They used those weaknesses to gain additional computer time. The company noticed the unusual activity and banned them temporarily. The punishment taught them that skill also required responsibility. Later, the company offered them an interesting arrangement. The students could find software problems in exchange for computer access. This became valuable practical training for Bill. He learned by studying real systems and fixing real mistakes. Bill and Paul also accepted small programming jobs. They were still teenagers, but their skills already had value. One project helped organize class schedules at Lakeside. Bill reportedly used the program to place himself near girls. Another project studied traffic information using road counters. Bill and Paul called their small venture Traf-O-Data. Traf-O-Data did not become a major success. However, it taught them about hardware, software, customers, and business. Paul Allen was nearly 3 years older than Bill. Their personalities were different, but their interests connected them. Paul often followed new developments in computer hardware. Bill focused strongly on software, strategy, and business opportunities. They spent countless hours discussing the future of computing. Both believed smaller computers would eventually become widely available. At that time, this idea seemed bold and uncertain. Most computers belonged to governments, universities, and large companies. The machines filled rooms and cost enormous amounts. Ordinary families had little reason to imagine owning one. Paul saw that computer parts were becoming cheaper. Bill understood that these machines would need useful software. Their friendship sometimes included arguments and competition. Both young men had strong opinions and high expectations. Yet their abilities also supported each other. Paul recognized possibilities, while Bill pushed ideas toward practical action. Together, they developed a shared vision. Personal computers would soon need languages, programs, and operating systems. Bill completed school in 1973 and entered Harvard University. His family expected him to prepare for a professional career. He considered studying law like his father. However, computers continued to hold his strongest interest. At Harvard, Bill took mathematics and computer science courses. He also spent long hours playing cards and programming. He met another talented student named Steve Ballmer. Ballmer later became an important leader at Microsoft. Bill was intellectually gifted, but lacked a clear plan. He sometimes skipped classes and studied intensely before examinations. Meanwhile, Paul Allen moved to the Boston area. The two friends continued discussing new computer developments. Bill had not forgotten their shared dream. He watched closely for the right technological opportunity. That opportunity appeared in a magazine near the end of 1974. A small computer on its cover changed their lives. It was called the Altair 8800. Bill and Paul immediately understood what it could mean. The Altair 8800 was sold as a computer kit. Users had to build parts of the machine themselves. It had very little memory by modern standards. However, it helped begin the personal computer revolution. Paul showed the magazine to Bill with excitement. They feared someone else would act before them. They contacted the Altair's maker, MIT's, in New Mexico. They claimed they were developing a version of BASIC. BASIC was a programming language designed for easier use. It could help people give instructions to the new computer. There was one serious problem with their claim. Bill and Paul had not yet written the promised software. They worked intensely to create it within weeks. They used another computer to imitate the Altair's limited system. Paul then traveled to demonstrate the program at MIT's. The software worked, despite never being tested on a real Altair before. The company accepted their work, creating a major opportunity. Bill now faced a choice between Harvard and his computer dream. Bill left Harvard before completing his degree. He moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico, where MIT's operated. Paul joined him there, and they formed a partnership. In 1975, they began using the name Microsoft. The name joined the words microcomputer and software. The hyphen was later removed, creating the familiar name Microsoft. Their first business sold programming languages for early computers. Bill strongly believed software should be treated as a commercial product. Many early computer users freely copied programs. Bill argued that copying without payment harmed software development. In 1976, he wrote an open letter to hobbyists. The letter criticized people who used software without buying it. His message angered some members of the computer community. However, it also raised an important question about software ownership. Microsoft soon created languages for several different machines. Bill focused on contracts that allowed the company to serve many manufacturers. This flexible approach became an important business advantage. Microsoft was preparing for a much larger opportunity. In 1980, IBM decided to enter the personal computer market. IBM was one of the world's most respected technology companies. The company needed software for its new machine. It contacted Microsoft about programming languages and an operating system. An operating system manages a computer's basic functions. Microsoft did not initially own the system IBM required. Bill and his team identified an existing system nearby. Microsoft obtained rights to it and adapted it for IBM's computer. The Microsoft version became known as MS-DOS. IBM released its personal computer with that system in 1981. Bill made a crucial decision during the negotiations. Microsoft licensed the system instead of selling all ownership to IBM. This meant Microsoft could provide similar software to other computer makers. Many companies soon produced machines compatible with IBM's computer. Each new compatible computer created another possible Microsoft customer. MS-DOS spread rapidly across the growing personal computer industry. The agreement transformed Microsoft's future. Software, not only hardware, became a central source of technological power. Microsoft moved its main offices to Washington State in 1979. The company grew rapidly as personal computers became more popular. Bill created a culture of speed and intense competition. He expected employees to think clearly and defend their ideas. Meetings could become sharp and uncomfortable. Bill often challenged weak plans with direct and difficult questions. Some employees admired his intelligence and high standards. Others found his management style harsh and exhausting. He reviewed important lines of software code himself. He wanted to understand both technical details and business strategy. Microsoft hired talented programmers and worked them hard. The company aimed to release software before its competitors. Bill also watched the market very closely. He wanted Microsoft's products on as many computers as possible. This demanding culture helped Microsoft grow quickly. It also created criticism about pressure, control, and aggressive business behavior. Success was arriving at remarkable speed. However, greater success would bring stronger rivals and closer public attention. Early personal computers mainly used typed commands. Users needed to remember exact words to perform basic tasks. Other companies were developing visual systems with windows and icons. These systems could make computers easier for ordinary people. Microsoft announced its own graphical product called Windows. The first version arrived in 1985. Early Windows versions were limited and received mixed reactions. Many users still preferred other systems or traditional command lines. Microsoft continued improving the product over several years. Windows 3.0 arrived in 1990 and gained strong public interest. It offered better graphics, improved performance, and easier control. Millions of people began using Windows on personal computers. Windows 95 became an even larger public event. Microsoft supported its 1995 release with a huge marketing campaign. The Start button and taskbar became familiar features. Computers were moving into offices, schools, and ordinary homes. Microsoft now stood near the center of personal computing. Bill Gates had helped turn his childhood vision into daily reality. Microsoft's growing power created serious concern among competitors. Many believed the company was becoming too dominant. Computer makers often installed Windows before selling their machines. This gave Microsoft strong control over the software market. The company also added its Internet Explorer browser to Windows. This challenged Netscape, whose browser had been widely used. Critics said Microsoft used Windows to weaken its rivals. Microsoft argued that adding features benefited computer users. In 1998, the United States government sued Microsoft. Several American states joined the major antitrust case. Antitrust laws aim to protect fair business competition. The government accused Microsoft of using unlawful business methods. A judge initially ordered Microsoft to be divided. However, that decision was later overturned on appeal. Microsoft eventually reached a settlement with the government. The company accepted limits and greater outside supervision. The case changed how people viewed Bill Gates. He remained a technology leader, but his methods faced lasting criticism. Microsoft's success made Bill Gates extremely wealthy. His shares in the company became worth enormous sums. For several years, publications listed him among the world's richest people. His wealth made him a symbol of the technology age. Bill's public image was complex during this period. Some saw a brilliant inventor and business leader. Others saw a powerful executive who wanted too much control. The antitrust case strengthened this more critical image. Bill began thinking more deeply about his responsibility. He knew great wealth could support work beyond business. His mother had strongly valued service to others. Her example influenced his ideas about giving. Bill also read about poverty and preventable disease. He became troubled by problems receiving too little attention. He realized that markets did not solve every need. Poor communities often lacked money to attract business investment. A new part of his life was taking shape. The software leader was slowly becoming a major philanthropist. Bill met Melinda French after she joined Microsoft. She worked as a product manager at the company. They met during a business event in New York. Their relationship gradually grew beyond their professional connection. Bill and Melinda married in Hawaii in 1994. They later became parents to 3 children. Family life gave Bill new responsibilities and experiences. It also influenced how he thought about the future. Bill's mother died from cancer in 1994. Her death was a painful loss for the whole family. Before her death, she encouraged generous public service. Her values remained important to Bill and Melinda. The couple began planning larger charitable efforts together. They wanted their wealth to create measurable improvement. Their marriage later ended in divorce in 2021. They said they would continue their shared charitable mission. Their partnership changed, but their public work remained significant. Family and service had become important parts of Bill's journey. Bill and Melinda combined several charitable projects in 2000. The result became the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The foundation focused on health, education, and poverty. It aimed to support problems affecting millions of people. Global health became one of its largest areas. The foundation supported vaccines, research, and stronger medical systems. Many dangerous diseases can be prevented with basic tools. However, poor countries often cannot afford those tools. The foundation worked with governments and international organizations. It also funded universities, charities, and scientific teams. One major goal involved fighting polio worldwide. Polio can cause paralysis, especially among young children. Another major effort supported vaccines for childhood diseases. These programs helped medical workers reach distant communities. The foundation also funded sanitation and clean water projects. These basic services can prevent illness and save lives. Bill now approached charity like a technical problem. He studied evidence, measured results, and searched for effective solutions. As his charitable work expanded, Bill changed his role. He could not lead Microsoft and the foundation equally. In 2000, he stepped down as Microsoft's chief executive. His longtime colleague Steve Ballmer took over that position. Bill remained active as chairman and chief software architect. He still helped guide major technology decisions. In 2006, Bill announced another important transition. He planned to leave daily work at Microsoft. The change became effective in 2008. He then devoted much more time to the foundation. Bill later left the Microsoft board in 2020. However, he remained connected to the company as an advisor. Microsoft continued changing after his daily leadership ended. It expanded into cloud computing, gaming, and other services. Bill's departure marked the end of an era. The company had grown far beyond its small beginnings. His career had moved from software toward global service. Yet technology still shaped how he approached every challenge. Bill traveled widely to understand global health problems. He visited clinics, villages, laboratories, and government offices. These journeys showed him realities hidden from wealthy countries. Simple illnesses were still killing many children. Malaria became one important target for the foundation. Mosquitoes spread this dangerous disease across many warm regions. The foundation funded medicines, mosquito control, and vaccine research. It supported scientists searching for better ways to stop infection. Bill also focused strongly on sanitation. Unsafe toilets and dirty water spread deadly diseases quickly. His foundation encouraged new toilet designs for poor communities. These systems aimed to work without expensive sewer networks. Agriculture became another important area of work. Small farmers often face drought, poor soil, and weak markets. The foundation supported stronger seeds and farming knowledge. The goal was to improve food security and family income. These programs have helped many people and funded important research. However, their size and influence have also raised difficult questions. Bill's charitable work has received wide public praise. Supporters say it has saved and improved many lives. The foundation has supported valuable research and medical programs. It has brought attention to neglected global problems. However, critics question its enormous private influence. One wealthy foundation can affect important public decisions. Unlike elected governments, private foundations are not chosen by voters. This creates concerns about power and public accountability. Some education projects produced mixed or disappointing results. Large plans do not always work equally in every community. Critics also question partnerships with major companies. They worry business interests may shape charitable choices. Bill has acknowledged that some projects failed. He often says failure should provide useful lessons. A balanced story must include both achievement and criticism. Good intentions do not guarantee perfect results. His philanthropy remains important, but complicated. It shows both the power and limits of private wealth. Bill later gave greater attention to climate change. He saw it as a major threat to humanity. Modern life depends heavily on energy from fossil fuels. Burning these fuels releases gases that warm the planet. Bill argued that the world needs cleaner technologies. He supported research into energy, transport, farming, and construction. He helped establish Breakthrough Energy in 2015. This network supports companies developing cleaner technological solutions. Bill has invested in new forms of energy. He has also supported cleaner cement, steel, and fuel. These industries are difficult to change quickly. Yet, they produce large amounts of harmful emissions. In 2021, Bill published a book about climate solutions. He explained difficult ideas in practical, direct language. His climate work has also faced criticism. Some people point to his wealth, travel, and large personal footprint. Still, Bill continues supporting innovation in this field. He believes technology and public policy must work together. Bill Gates remains an active public figure. He continues writing, speaking, investing, and supporting charitable work. He shares reading lists and discusses new ideas. Books remain an important part of his daily life. Bill often speaks about health and technology. He also comments on climate change and future risks. His public role sometimes creates strong debate. Admirers trust his experience, while critics question his influence. False stories about Bill also spread online. These claims often grow during moments of fear or uncertainty. A factual view requires reliable evidence and careful judgment. Public fame can attract both fair criticism and false accusations. Bill has said he plans to give away most of his wealth. He does not want his children to inherit everything. He now spends far less time on daily Microsoft decisions. His main focus has shifted toward philanthropy and innovation. The boy who loved a school computer changed personal technology. The older man now tries to address problems affecting the world. Bill Gates's story offers several important lessons. The first lesson is the value of curiosity. A rare school computer captured his attention completely. He studied it deeply and discovered a lifelong direction. The second lesson is recognizing an opportunity early. Bill and Paul saw personal computing before most people understood it. However, ideas alone did not create Microsoft. Years of coding, negotiation, risk, and intense work followed. The third lesson is learning from criticism and failure. Microsoft's success included aggressive choices and serious controversy. A complete lesson must include these difficult truths. Great results do not excuse every method used. The fourth lesson is using success to serve others. Bill moved from building software toward global health and climate work. His charitable work is not beyond criticism, yet it shows that a career can grow into a wider purpose. The simple takeaway is clear and practical. Stay curious, work carefully, accept criticism, and use success responsibly. Vocabulary, meanings, and examples from the story. Curiosity, a strong desire to learn or understand. Example, these early qualities shaped his future path. Terminal, a device used to connect with a computer. Example, in 1968, the school obtained time on a computer terminal. Programming, writing instructions that tell computers what to do. Example, he shared Bill's deep interest in computer programming. Venture, a new project or business with some risk. Example, Bill and Paul called their small venture Traf Odata. Compatible, able to work successfully with another system. Example, many companies soon produced machines compatible with IBM's computer. Dominant, more powerful or successful than others. Example, many believed the company was becoming too dominant. Settlement, an official agreement that ends a legal dispute. Example, Microsoft eventually reached a settlement with the government. Philanthropist, a person who gives resources to help others. Example, the software leader was slowly becoming a major philanthropist. Foundation, an organization that supports charitable work. Example, the result became the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Paralysis, the loss of movement in part of the body. Example, polio can cause paralysis, especially among young children. Accountability, the duty to explain decisions and accept responsibility. Example, this creates concerns about power and public accountability. Emissions, gases released into the air. Example, yet they produce large amounts of harmful emissions. Grammar tip. First conditional. Explanation. We use the first conditional for a real future possibility. The usual form is if plus the present simple followed by will and a verb. Example 1. If technology becomes cheaper, more people will be able to use it. Example 2. If we harm the environment, future generations will face greater problems. Example 3. If people study evidence carefully, they will make better decisions. A simple way to remember. Use if for the possible condition and will for its future result. Bill Gates helped move computers from specialist rooms into everyday life. His software company changed how millions of people worked, studied, and communicated. His rise also brought fierce competition, legal battles, and serious criticism. His later years show an effort to use wealth for health, education, and climate solutions. His story is neither perfect nor simple. It is a journey of curiosity, ambition, controversy, change, and responsibility. So, here is a question for you to think about. How would you use success to improve other people's lives? If you enjoyed this story, please like this video, share it with a friend who needs to hear it, and comment below with one lesson you will carry with you. Subscribe to English via AI for more real stories that help you learn English. One journey at a time. Keep learning, keep building.